When I first decided to live a more minimalist life, I took it a bit too far. I decluttered way too much too quickly, drastically cut my budget, and limited myself from buying anything outside of my normal expenses again. As you can imagine, it wasn't very long until my life felt incredibly bare, and it made me even question if minimalism was for me. I think it's only natural to want to take things to the extreme, to see big changes in our lives. But speaking from experience, this can do more harm than good. We are creatures of habit, and drastic changes that disrupt our normal pattern can be difficult to adjust to a point where we're likely to give up before we see any changes and go back to our old way of doing things. This is exactly how I felt. I'm not an extreme person, so I'm not surprised that this extreme minimalist approach didn't work out for me. In hindsight, it's been the tiny and subtle adjustments in my lifestyle that made the biggest difference in achieving my version of a minimalist life. I've made many little adjustments throughout the years, but I thought about the 5 most impactful changes to share with you today. I hope that these will be just as helpful for you in achieving your simple, clutter-free life. When it comes to living a more minimalist lifestyle, the first thing that probably comes to mind is decluttering, letting go of the things that are no longer serving us. It's a simple concept, but it can be really overwhelming, especially if it's your first time. So like any big task, it helps to tackle it in parts. Since the new year is coming up, focus on decluttering one area of your life at a time. Maybe even plan to dedicate a whole month to it. January to go through your office, February for your closet, March for the paper clutter, and so on. By spacing it out, you're less likely to make irrational decisions, and instead, you're slowly creating a habit. I actually don't have a lot of physical things to declutter at the moment, but I desperately need to pay attention to my digital space. My email inbox, phone gallery, social media space is a total mess right now. So this is what I'm going to be focusing for the next month. One thing my husband and I love doing together is eating out. And I thought, what is it about eating out that we really enjoy? Other than trying new food, of course, I especially love the whole experience of dressing up, going to a new place, and being a part of the restaurant atmosphere. But then I realized that there's nothing stopping us from creating that similar experience at home too, for a fraction of the cost. There will always be room in my budget to have date nights, especially since we moved to Portugal. We love trying different things on the menu and exploring the local restaurants. But for those regular weekday nights, when I cook dinner at home, I realized how important it is to put effort into creating an enjoyable experience. Whether it's lighting some candles, turning off our phones, or just plating the food nicely, I found that these subtle touches go a long way, and I've really come to love these dinners at home just as much. I think it's easy to forget that it's up to us on how we choose to live our lives. So why not live the most beautiful version of it? Why not romanticize every minute of it? The best part is that this can be done without having to spend a lot of money. So I really encourage you to look at the different activities in your daily routine and see how you can elevate it. Sometimes the simplest moments can be the most memorable and beautiful. Something that has changed since becoming more of a minimalist is my mindset on owning things. In the past, I couldn't pass by something cute on a window display without buying it or bringing it home with me. But now I try to just appreciate it for what it is admire how beautiful it is on the display or on someone else, and move on. I was really tempted to buy a Christmas tree this year, but noticed that there were already so many beautiful trees all around the neighborhood for us to enjoy. So we opted to take many late night walks instead to admire the lights and decorations, which isn't the same, but it was more than enough to fill me up with the Christmas spirit. Unless I plan a specific expense in advance or know that I will use that thing over and over again, I don't feel the need to own it. If I can, I'll first look for ways to rent it, possibly borrow it, or just spend a few minutes admiring it. This little mindset shift has saved me from a lot of unnecessary purchases and the regrets that come with them. The thing about clutter is that it accumulates over time, and it can happen unintentionally. So to keep ourselves and our lives in check, I think it's important to routinely audit the different areas of our lives. Whether it's physically decluttering the space, looking over your finances, checking your social media usage, spend a few hours or even a few minutes every month to evaluate how you are spending your precious resources. This can reveal so much about our habits, spending patterns, and priorities. I recently noticed that I had so many unused credits on my Audible account because I stopped listening to audiobooks during my walks. So I decided to cancel my subscription for the time being and use those extra credits to buy audiobooks as Christmas gifts. I know shaving off $15 doesn't sound like a lot, but it quickly adds up. More importantly, it can go towards something I can actually get use out of. Speaking of auditing our lives, I was shocked when I first did a financial audit on myself. I looked through my credit card statements and tracked how I was spending my paychecks and realized that it was going towards things I didn't really care about. Takeouts, expensive skincare splurges, kitchen gadgets. Basically, I was funding a life that I didn't even want. I realized that I needed to steer away from expenses that give short-term gratification and instead invest in my relationships, experiences, learning new skills, and education. Currently, I am saving up to take sailing lessons with my husband and couldn't be more excited about it. These are the things that add depth to my life and make it more meaningful. This is the life I want to be working towards. I truly believe that we have a lot of control over creating the life that we want, even with the finite resources that we have. It takes a little more planning and creating boundaries, but it can be done. This, to me, is the whole point of minimalism, and these little adjustments can hopefully help us to get there. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with someone else who might enjoy it. Until next video, take care guys, love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.